We're joined by Dayton head coach Tamika Williams-Jeter and Dayton players Jacques Medal and Nicole Stevens. So first we will take questions for our players. Oh, sorry, opening statement from our head coach first. Thank you.
Who said that? No. I thought it was just a gritty game. The big thing we focused on was toughness coming into this game. This is a team that beat us twice this year, and we did not play well. We probably played our worst against G-Dub in all conference play. They out-rebounded us. They got to the free throw line more than us. You guys got to look at all those stats, heading into this game. And it's hard to beat a team 3 times, but we didn't want to leave it to luck. So we had a good game plan to really trap them around the rim because that's where they score majority of their points. We wanted to press Gabby and make her take tough twos, and we call it top her, kind of in pros. And so we denied her, but top side. So anything she got was a backdoor cut to the rim. We did a really good job with that. And we wanted to win rebounds. That was huge for us. And then we also wanted to get to the free throw line, which we did. We did not make every free throw. All right, that's when my heart starts racing. But that was our game plan. Essentially was, can we out-tough them? Can we get more 50-50 balls? I mean, even to the end when Shantavia just hits the ball a couple times, like that was the energy we wanted to bring into that game. Like, you're going to feel us the whole game. And in order to beat a team like G-Dub, you have to do that, and I think we did it tonight.
Perfect.
Or today, whatever time it is. Who knows?
Thanks, Coach. Now we will open it up to questions for our players.
Go ahead.
Nailed it, me. Nicole, Zach Weiss, Atlantic10.com. I have to ask you, obviously, a game like this, there's a lot of runs, but as a leader, just what do you do to steady the ship and steady your side and get yourselves across the finish line?
Yeah, like Coach Meek said, even in our team huddles, we were like, grittiness and toughness, that's what's going to pull us through. And after the first quarter, we settled in, but we were like, we're taking too many threes. We need to get it in the paint. That was something we touched on, getting inside the paint, which I think we outscored them in the paint, and then getting out and running in the second half. So just making those small corrections during the medias and the small huddles we had, and then just making sure we had our toughness the whole time.
Daniel Frank from Dayton Talk. For either of you guys, aside from just the pure numbers like your coach mentioned, what felt different between this game and the 2 previous meetings with GW this season?
Yeah, what felt different? Why'd y'all win this one?
I think we just matched their toughness the first 2 games. They outworked us in every aspect, in the statistics and the stats you don't see, the 50-50 balls, everything. I think, again, that's where we showed up tonight. John?
Yeah. I also think that, especially the month of February, we went through a lot of adversity. There was sicknesses and injuries, but I honestly think that brought us closer together, and it shows on the court. We celebrate each other constantly, and we feed off each other's energy. So that definitely helps in the long run. And those teams are the ones that played through March. So yeah.
Any other questions for our players?
Yes.
All right.
Good job, guys.
Perfect.
Go Flyers. Go
Thank you.
Flyers.
Yeah, go Flyers.
Go Flyers.
Go Flyers.
YH, don't cry. Am I off the hook? You got a nice shirt on today. You look good. Your outfit looks really
All
good.
right. We'll now open it up to questions for Coach Williams-Jeter.
Coach again, Daniel Frank from Dayton Talk. First, do you have, an update on either Malia or Olivia?
Right now, I have no idea. I haven't even walked past them. I'll get it when I get back in there. So, we'll see.
Sorry.
No, you're fine.
Secondly, specifically about Malia's performance.
Yes.
She had arguably her best night as a Flyer tonight, 14 points. What specifically did she bring tonight that helped push you guys over the top tonight?
Well, when she's healthy, man, she's the epitome of toughness. She's just a grimy type of kid, no emotion, you can get on her. I wish she got healthy. She was another kid that starts to come back, boom, has to have another surgery, starts to come back, boom, falls on her knee, D-bone bruise, and now you're in the January and you're trying to figure it out, right? And there were times where she was just like, man, will I ever help this team? But she was also voted captain because she is the kid that's I'm just going to say whatever I want to say. And she's always one just play ball. She's that kid. And we needed that. It was huge for us. I thought it was also good this particular game for her to do it because one part of my board, usually I write a lot of stuff and I just put empty out. If y'all want to win this game, we have to empty out. Now y'all don't care. You're going to get another foul. You can get on the refs. You can get take a couple deep breaths, and then go, we need you to do something, right? So for Lily, I think if anything you can learn from that, and that our team is looking at her because they're all like kissing her and hugging her, because she means so much to them, is you never know. So play your hardest, and toughness should always be top on the list because you just never know what can happen.
Me, exact voice of Landington.com. I have to ask you about Fatima and what she was able to do. The 86 is great, but so is plus 17 in
Yes.
18 minutes. Just what did you make of the work that she put in tonight?
I think when it comes to Fatima, a level of grit, right, and efficiency. When you look at her numbers, 3 for 3, 2 for 4, 6, 8. I don't like the 2 turnovers, but a lot of those were tips, because she couldn't, gather the ball in a block. She's always going to have 1 or 2 blocks. For her, she just brings a kid that we can bring with athleticism to match number 4, because she was cooking, she was shooting pull-ups, she was very comfortable. Just a kid that brings a little bit more of a shot block, more of a presence, a tenacity. She plays with a little bit more grit in those spaces. So I think that's what Fatima brings, especially coming off the bench. She's been very good for us. But we've had kids that ride high and lows. Liv started at the beginning of the season. I had to start Shantavia right before we played Kansas because she's a sophomore, figuring out that it wasn't going to be easy. She looked up to Ivy Wolf, and you figured out Ivy Wolf ain't easy. Fatima started, lost her starting position, numbers dropped, Molly comes into play, right? Now those 2 kids mostly split minutes, and it's a great yin and yang, right? You got a good balance between the 2. But we've had that throughout the course of the year. So again, when a jock says we've been through tough things, some individuals have been through tough things. Starting positions are not guaranteed. You have to work for them. Numbers don't lie. We've been down, we've been up. So I think with Fatima, she's also another person who stayed the course like Lily and kept fighting, and now she's playing great basketball.
We'll go right here.
Jalen Holmes with Double Take Sports. Congratulations on the win tonight.
Thank you.
Talk about emptying the tank, and that's exactly what they did.
Yeah.
Struggled a little bit, shooting wise.
Yes.
But, it's a quick turnaround tomorrow. What's your main focus going against George Mason?
I thought we did a great job of game plan tonight. It's the same thing as George Mason. They won, Vanessa's killing in this league. She's a great mentor of mine. It's somebody I can call and really lean on, and somebody that resembles me that I can see myself in. So she means a lot to me. And she always says, I'm always cheering for you unless you play us. But I also know Vanessa's been kicking my butt by 30, 40 points since I've been in this league. And we've closed the gap. Our first game, didn't play the greatest, 14-point game. We played them a couple weeks ago, 10-point game. So for us, what we're trying to build at Dayton is now we're in swinging distance. And no better person to play against to see where you are than Vanessa. She's one of the greatest coaches in this conference and is very proven. So I think we're going with the same mentality. This is going to be a slugfest. It used to be a one-way slugfest. We were just taking a beat down, and I think tomorrow's a space where we got to throw punches, and you got to stay in a game like that. And in the fourth quarter, it matters. It matters. And they're playing great basketball. I think they're a lot better team right now than when we even played them. But so are we, and I think that's all it is. It just has to be a game plan like tonight. There has to be a level of toughness. They got Hawa, they got 2 all-defensive players, they got 2 first-team, all-conference kids. But the one thing is we've started to close the gap. And so tomorrow's about seeing if we can close it.
Alexa Washington from VCU, the student program. Tonight seemed like a team effort.
Yeah.
Points from everybody. You guys outscored Dayton for bench points. You guys outscored GW for bench points. You guys had 25. GW had 9. Can you speak on the effort from everybody tonight?
Yeah, when effort shows up on our stat sheet, it looks like more free throws, right? Of course, I'm cringing because I wanted to make more, right? So that's paint touches. They were in foul trouble the first half. Like, Nio was in foul trouble, but they had 2 or 3 kids with 2 or 3 fouls. So we really, a lot of stuff that I was running was predicated on turning the corner on 12. Let's see if we can get her in foul trouble. When 14 comes in, that kid is not used to playing a lot of minutes, but with Emma out, let's see if she can guard us. We did that and got a lot of people in foul trouble. So when we get paint touches, they get foul trouble. You don't always shoot well, here. Shooting well doesn't travel. Free throws travels. Rebounding travels. 50-50 balls, they travel. We're a team that blocks some shots. We fouled on some of it, travels. And then I think we also made a great adjustment we fouled a lot in the first quarter. And I think throughout the course of the game, it was very sparse, right? We didn't foul as much, and we just made it tough at the rim and came up with a lot of tips. It went our way. So I think when you go on the road, rebounding matters. I think 50-50 balls matter. I think who wins the war of the paint. And if you see 13-11 second chance points, they got more offensive rebounds, 13-0 in fast break. Now that's when we're really cooking if we're getting out. But we got a lot of fouls in our transition. 25-9, our bench showed up. That didn't happen the first 2 times we played against G-Dub. And then we scored 13 to their 9 off of turnovers. So I think with that, that's when we look our best, right? And I think when you come to this tournament, you got to dominate the paint.
Any other questions for Coach?
You better not ask a question.
All right, we're all set. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, everyone, we'll go ahead and get started. We're joined by GW head coach Ganiat Adidunton, as well as players Gabby Reynolds and Sarah Lewis. We'll start with an opening statement from Coach.
Yeah, not the outcome that we wanted in this game. I did feel like we were very prepared, and I thought we had a great mentality in our practices leading up to it, with the ability and a focus, and something that we did all season is just being able to respond when challenged. I feel like I'm sitting next to 2 of the best players in our league when it comes to the way that they show up and their competitiveness every single day, and I thought they played hard. And gave us a great chance to position ourselves to keep moving forward in this tournament. This has been a really great first season with our group, but we're also learning. We've learned a lot of what it looks like and what it takes every single day. All right, we play in a very competitive league where consistency matters, where the level of toughness and competitiveness has to be at an all-time high. And is something that was a work in progress for us, and we saw a lot of spurts of it throughout the season, and it's for sure something that we'll be leaning into heavily in the postseason as we keep moving forward to build this program back to winning ways.
Great. We'll now open it up to questions for our players.
Sarah Zach-Weiss, Atlantic10.com. This was your 3rd double-double of the season. Just how proud are you of the work that you've put in the season and allowed it to pay off both on and off the court?
Yeah, I mean, as a team and as a group, I feel like we've put in so much work, and really only us can see that in the dark. I'm proud of that, but the win is always most important. So doing the things we need to do in the offseason to be prepared. I'm super proud of our fight, and we'll continue to do that.
Go ahead first.
Daniel Frank from Dayton Talk, for either of you guys. Just curious what your reflections are on year 1 under Coach G and just how you see the building blocks for this program moving forward.
Yeah, Coach G, she came in, and like the first time I met her and I had my first conversation with her, I knew I wanted to stay. I have zero regrets staying with Coach G. I think that we had a great season. There's a lot to learn from this season, but going forward, we also know how to prep better. But I'm excited to stay under Coach G and to see what she has planned for us. But yeah.
Over here.
Jalen Holmes with Double Six Sports. Sir, you talked about the fight that you had today, and you took 2 charges. You had 4 of your 10 boards were offensive. Another double-double for you. What can you take away from this game and this season as a whole?
Yeah, I mean, we were just talking about it not too long ago, but like every single game comes with a lesson, and using those lessons to move forward and not going backwards on those lessons. I appreciate every single game and every lesson that we learned as a team. I'm super excited for where we're going because I think as a group, we lean on each other, fight together. Fight is super important. And so I feel like we cheer for each other and we're rooting for each other and we're going to bring each other up for sure. Yeah.
Any other questions for our players? Yeah, one more.
Danielle Dyer with the Round Ball Report. For either player, you guys mentioned just a group that's building this program back up. What was your favorite part about this season, doing it alongside this group that you all had?
Yeah, I think for me, and maybe it's different for Gabby, but I think for me, the Cayman Island trip was a huge turning point for us as a group. Those type of trips during the break are like a time for us to kind of gel. We don't really have any class, so we're spending so much time together in hotels together, bonding together, and I feel like we just grew as a group and a team and found a way to fight together. And after that tournament, I feel like we moved forward and continued to push. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think for me, I'm just most excited just to see where this group goes. We're a young team with a lot of talent, so I'm just excited to see what we do in the offseason, how we're going to continue to get better. But I think it was just really cool to just see how we grew from the very first game to where we are now. Obviously, we wanted to win tonight and make a little longer of a run, but that didn't happen. But I think there was just a lot of light in our season.
Anyone else? Perfect. Well, we'll let our players go, and we'll take questions for Coach.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Well, wait 1 second for me, please. Good. All right, go ahead, Danny.
Daniel Frank, Dayton. Coach,
Hi.
just kind of follow-up question I want to ask the players. Just what are your reflections on year 1 at Rocky Bottom and just how you felt overall this season went for you guys?
Yeah, I reflect often, and I'll probably have a better answer in a couple of weeks, but this is what I got in the moment. I'm the most proud of our players' response every single time that I've challenged them. My expectations are high. I recognize that. But my goal is always in trying to pull and bring the best out of all of our players. Striving for excellence is all I know. So that's how I walk in every single day with a certain level of just toughness and mentality of we got to grow and get better. And the consistency was there with myself and our entire staff and how we approach practices, how we approach games, how we prepped. So preparation was there. It's just working to really instill the consistency piece for our players. But yes, for sure. Proud of the way they responded in moments where things didn't go our way. And Sarah mentioned just we use the word just learn and grow all the time. So a loss doesn't remain a loss if you can learn and grow from it. It's never failure, it's always direction. Which way do you need to move? How can you make some changes? So just being able to really be intentional about laying our culture, our foundation of our culture this year is a work in progress. It's not finished, nor will it ever be finished. But I do think that we put a lot of building blocks in place for where this program is going to go, and we have players that are committed to what we're trying to do.
Jalen Holmes with Double Six Sports. Speaking of your reflections of the year, your first year at GW, what is something that you've learned about yourself through this time?
That is a great question. I actually was thinking about that today. Gee, what did you learn this year? And it's not new. It was more so a reminder, and where I got to is you can do hard things. This was a challenging year. When you're taking over a program, you're trying to instill culture, you're trying to instill a certain level of toughness, of this is how we show up, and just like not budging every single day and staying on top of the details. It's not easy. So in those moments where things weren't going the way that I ideally wanted to go, just staying the course with this group, and you saw a tremendous growth as the season went on. So it's something for me is like, you can do hard things. It's not supposed to be easy, right? It's even more rewarding when you know that you put everything that you have into it.
We'll go up right here.
Zach Boyce, Atlantic10.com. Along with those lines, what were you happiest with? And when you refer to the building blocks, how do you want that with what you can share to move forward to those constructive things?
Yes, I think you can go back and look at the games that we won, specifically in the A10. We defended really well. So I still think it's a work in progress, but we saw a lot of great moments of just what we want our identity to always be when we step up on the floor. Not allowing how we're defending to be dictated by how we're showing up on the offensive end, just being a team that just grinds it out, defends at a very high level. So I was really proud to see a lot of different players step up and commit to that side of the floor in a way where they were leading themselves at times when it wasn't going well, to try to corral themselves into what really was going to help us win. Was it Sarah that talked about the Cayman Islands? That was a huge turning point for us in our season. If you go back and look in November, we were struggling, and we were struggling mainly with playing with maximum effort. For me, I'm always trying to give our players just a couple of things to focus on. There's always a long list of things to get better at, but for them, they can't handle that. So if I can just give them 2 to 3 things, hey, this is what we got to get better at, maximum effort, giving everything that we have was number 1 on that list. We were never going to be able to compete at the level that we need to compete in our league if we can't show up and play as hard as we can. So I do feel like that was a turning point in our season, and another thing that I can reflect on and say, you know what? This is when I felt like our players were less about using their words of buying in and committing, but then displaying it with their actions.
You still have a question?
Danielle Dyer, the Rumble Report. Coach, you just talked about that turning point where they were then displaying their words with the actions. You're very innovative, very energetic, always bring that consistent energy on the sideline. What is it you're trying to instill in them and display during the game?
Just a level of one of our absolutes, just essentially a non-negotiable for us is energy and enthusiasm. So I can't ask them to play with energy and enthusiasm if I'm coaching in a blah mode or spirit. So that's how I am in practices, really trying to instill that level of basketball is a game, and a game is meant to be played. And when you're playing, and this is something I remind our players all the time, it's fun, right? You have to work at it. You have to compete. You have to give your very best, understanding that you may not always get the result that you want, but man, this thing is really fun, it's really enjoyable. So I want to show that to them so that they too can mirror it, and reminding myself not to take it too seriously either. And that's a constant reminder because I am very competitive, but I also understand fully that this is not life or death. We're playing a game of basketball, the ball goes in the net, and you're trying to stop the other team from getting, I mean, if you really think about what we're doing, it is just a game. While everybody wants to win, there's so many other things that we're gaining, and these student athletes are gaining every single day just by being on this team and being able to learn so many of those characteristics and traits that help them in their lives after they leave college.
Any other questions for Coach? All right, thank you for your time.
Thank you.